Let's talk about what's driving demand in the rental market right now. Well, some research that's been done post-lockdown shows that activity in the lettings market fell by a third during the first lockdown. And there are concerns that England may be going into more lockdowns shortly. There are regional lockdowns at the moment. There are differing rules for Wales and Scotland. So at this stage, this is important to register because it did have a big impact on lettings market activity. However, immediately post-lockdown, we saw a big bounce in the number of inquiries from tenants looking to move into a very limited amount of rental stock available. And that's certainly been reflected in what's happening with rental prices over the last 3 or 4 months. It's been really strong in terms of rental growth, a really good time for landlords who are letting properties because they've seen big increases in terms of what they can generate from their portfolio. Market research shows that there is increased demand for larger homes and outdoor space. Unsurprisingly, because I think most of the UK is expecting that there are likely to be some more lockdowns, possibly shorter and sharper and more localised than the first major lockdown across the country before we've come out of the back end of the coronavirus crisis. And so people valuing that space where they can work from home, where maybe there's a home with some office space as well, or an outbuilding that can be converted to an office. Also valuing that private outdoor space so that there's room to get some outdoor activity in such a way that also complies with any lockdown restrictions. Another byproduct of this as well is pet-friendly searches have almost doubled since lockdown. Now this comes down to a lot of landlords actually not taking pets, which to me is something that doesn't make a huge amount of sense, because even before this research in relation to coronavirus and what happened during lockdown, what you can see from the data is that statistically renters who have pets tend to pay a higher premium to rent a property and tend to stay longer because a lot of landlords don't take pets. So I think it's worthwhile considering taking pets as a landlord, because you open yourself up to a potentially more lucrative rental market and a longer staying tenant. But also we see some of the changes in attitude over lockdown as well. And some people who maybe weren't pet owners before now considering or have become pet owners because they're looking for that companionship. Once again, just in case the UK does go into a major lockdown again. Voids nationally, sitting at about 20 days at the moment. However, within those figures, you've got some regions down as low as 10 days to let a property right now, from one tenant leaving to a new tenant going in. You've got some regions up at about 24 days, but the national figure is about 20 days, which is about where it's sat for the majority of the period post-lockdown. So properties letting fairly quickly, demand is still strong, but if you've got properties in your portfolio that you are looking to let, and especially if anything's been hanging around on the market for a little while, be aware of what people are valuing at this particular point in time, and that's outdoor space, garden space, and also space to be able to work from home, because I think that's going to be a reality even once we see the other side of this coronavirus crisis for some time to come in the UK property market.